And welcome back to Let's Talk Rockets, episode number 36 here, Houston Rockets Daily. My name is Jackson. You guys know the deal here. So the Houston Rockets are still undefeated in Summer League. We're actually not going to talk as much Summer League, I think, in tonight's stream, unless some of the live chatters are trying to talk about it. I just went to the store. But yeah, we're going to talk about the Rockets franchise player. All right, we're going to have – it's not even a debate. I've got the word debate in the title here. It's not a debate. It's more of an open forum, an open discussion. And as Shade's saying here, yeah, this live stream was supposed to happen about 2 hours ago, and that didn't happen. So we just got back here for the night. It's Wednesday, July 12th, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I hope you guys are all having a great week. Tomorrow's already Thursday, dude. Jesus. And then by this time tomorrow on Let's Talk Rockets, we're going to be talking about how the weekend's right around the corner. So thank you guys for spending time, taking time out of your day to come here and talk Rockets with me. As always, be sure to hit the like button, hit that sub button for daily Rockets content. Guys, these streams are growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. So I appreciate you guys so much, and all the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. It all goes a long way. So I appreciate you guys. We've been talking about having a discussion like this on the channel for quite some time now. I actually almost pre-recorded this, but I wanted it to be live because I felt like that would be a lot more exciting. I saw a twirl. I saw a twirl today. Oh my goodness. I just realized I completely forgot to put tags on this. So I'm going to just kind of spew while I set up this here. Houston Rockets Daily. Every time I go on Rapid Tags, which is basically like, it's just like a trend. It's like a tag trend indicator. Houston Rockets Daily. We've been up on there for quite some, like a couple of weeks now. So I appreciate that. But one of the things I've really been stressing on in the last couple of weeks before the draft more so was, what I want to see with the Houston Rockets this upcoming season is essentially who's our franchise player. Who's the guy we're trying to build around. Before we drafted Thompson, the obvious candidates were Jalen Green. I would say it was probably in order: Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith Jr. as like out of those three core players, second, third, fourth picks of the first round. Those were, like the main guys. And then we draft Thompson with the fourth pick this year. And Jabari Smith Jr. did have a phenomenal first two Summer League games along with Tari Eason. And so now the discourse has actually changed a little bit, which is why we have, or if you've been, on Twitter or, watching Rockets content or whatever it is, you've been probably seeing this quite a little bit more. So once again, I want to emphasize that point, especially for our audio listeners here, which we've been growing a lot of, guys. The link's down below. If you want to listen to Let's Talk Rockets, you ever miss a day, a live show, you want to listen to it on Apple, Spotify, the links are down below, or just type in Let's Talk Rockets on your respected streaming platform. But once again, to me, before the draft, it was for most Rocket fans, Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, right? Jabari Smith Jr. For me, it was Alperen Sengun, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr. So we're going to talk about why that has changed here today. But really quick, I got to throw in some freaking eye drops, man. Give me 1 second. Hey. So what I want everyone to do right now, if you're watching this live on YouTube, what I want you guys to do is, and I just realized Joel Embiid is the background here. That's not really applicable for Rockets talk. Let's do tropical summer. I'm feeling tropical summer tonight. I want everybody to go ahead, drop a comment down below. Who do you think the Houston Rockets franchise player is going to be? Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff. All right. We have Hector. What's up, Hector? I think after the in-season tournament, they should send Cam to the G League to get more minutes and let Jayshawn take the backup spot. So, yeah, that's that's going to happen to me. I actually am curious, Hector. You bring up a really good point. If Cam Whitmore is going to spend time in the G League, or if they're just going to get him going as a deep rotational player on our roster right now. So when you take a look at our roster, we have a couple open spots, right? So that's why we're watching these summer league games. And in fact, while I bring it up, why not just pull up the box score? When we're watching these summer league games, some of us are kind of thinking in the back of our head, like, all right, Darius Days is probably going to be a two-way player. Like last night, you saw Meyer go off, like he could be a two-way player. Trevor Hudgens could be a two-way player. I was thinking before that Jay Huff was going to be a possible two-way player for us, and then I actually don't know what team snagged Jay Huff from us. Let's check that. But I saw that happen today. The Lakers signed Jay Huff. If you type Jay Huff news, nothing comes up. Literally, there's one article that comes up. I'm pretty positive Jay Huff is no longer with the Houston Rockets. But if you type up Jay Huff news in the last day, there's literally not a single article that comes up. So apologies, I guess. I don't have the official news. Does anybody know the official news on that? But anyways, I think, Hector, what you're talking about would be completely flipped. So last night, I hate the NBA.com's interface. It's so frustrating. But last night, Cam Whitmore didn't have the best showing. The statistics aren't that bad. 16 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. But when we get into the nitty-gritty, 6 of 14 from the field, 43%. It's not super efficient, but we've seen basically what we saw from Cam Whitmore last night was things we already knew from his time at Villanova, and that we kind of saw a little bit in the first 2 games of summer league. But he went 6 of 14 from the field, 1 of 8 from downtown, 3 of 6 from the free throw line, and he had 6 turnovers. So decision making, shot selection, those are 2 big critiques for Cam Whitmore heading into the NBA draft, and they're going to continue to be there. Cam Whitmore's fully aware of these, but there we go. Anyways, I think it'll be flipped. I think he'll probably start off the season in the G League, and then hopefully he's balling and they call him up. He could spend the whole year in the G League. He could spend the whole year in the NBA, like Josh Christopher from a couple of seasons ago, where he played 73 games, averaging only 9 minutes a night from us. But Josh Christopher was a first-round picked similarly to where Cam Whitmore was selected this year at pick number 15. So, yeah, let's get into the discussion here. And guys, please keep dropping your opinions, comments, statements, all that good stuff down below. So for our audio listeners, we have a poll here. It's from the Boxing and _, doing a quick thread, checking in on people who believe the best long-term prospect is on a few NBA teams. So let's start with the Houston Rockets. 42.2% of people said Amen Thompson. All right, this poll has about 3,000 votes. Number 2, coming in at 25%, Jalen Green. Then coming in at number 3 at 18%, you have Jabari Smith Jr. And number 4, you have Alperen Sengun sitting at about 15%. So this is a big question depending on who you ask. Everybody's got a different opinion on it. But for me, once again, my biggest takeaway, or not takeaway, but the biggest takeaway I want to have from the Houston Rockets in this upcoming season is who is our franchise player, because if it's Sengun, you're going to make roster moves according to that, draft picks according to that, Jalen Green according to that, et cetera, et cetera. Before we get into the chat, as you guys tell me your franchise player and some explanations, I think my current ranking would be, and this is a little bold, but if you've been watching these shows, it's not super shocking or surprising. I'm going to go Amen Thompson at number 1. At number 2, I'm going to go Alperen Sengun. All right, I'm going LB at number 2. At number 3, I'm going to go with Jalen Green. And at number 4, I'm going to go with Jabari Smith Jr. It's weird. The Jabari Smith Jr. discourse has been so different because of Summer League, where he just completely balled out in the first 2 games. Had the buzzer beater, had a phenomenal almost 40-piece with sauce, or he said no sauce. He said 40-piece or 36-piece no sauce. So he doesn't even want sauce. But, most of the discourse with Jabari last year was not very positive outside of Rockets Nation. Now you're kind of starting to see people come along to the idea of, oh my goodness, Jabari Smith Jr. is a 20-year-old basketball player who, I actually have the statistic, he broke a record last year. We have the Rockets Oh no, it's a small ball lineup that we'll talk about. I actually guess I don't have it. Never mind. Wow, just a complete never mind there. And that actually threw off my whole train of thought. But with Jabari Smith Jr., he's 20 years old. And last year at 19, I believe he had 20 double doubles. He had somewhere between 20 to 22 double doubles, which for a teenager in the NBA, I'm pretty sure he broke that record. Jabari, I'm really trying to emphasize the fact of his age. Jabari Smith Jr. is a whole year younger than Brandon Miller. Right. So these are things you just want to keep in mind. Like Jabari turned 22 months ago, literally 2 months ago tomorrow on May 13th of 2003. Holy shit. Was when he was born, 2003. Oh my goodness gracious. He was 19 last year. So sometimes you draft these young prospects, and I keep using Max Christie as a good example. You know, you think of a first round draft pick, and if they're like Cam Whitmore turned 19 last week, and they're 19 years old, that's so young that their rookie season is honestly almost like year zero. And evaluating them in their second year is better. So, like for me, I keep saying I think Max Christie is going to be a role player on the Lakers this upcoming season. But last year, you could look at Max Christie's rookie season and be like, there just wasn't anything there for me. So, Jabari Smith Jr. for a 19-year-old rookie in the NBA, putting up the statistics that he did is very impressive. 12.8 points per game, 7.2 rebounds. He had basically a block and a steal per game. The shooting was inefficient, but we saw plenty of, especially second halves, where Jabari Smith Jr. was really feeling it. So Jabari and his length and his height being at 6'10", 6'11", depending on even where you look at, you know, he's putting on body mass, he's putting on weight. To me, I have Jabari Smith Jr. as my fourth most likely franchise player for the Houston Rockets. That's really freaking good, man. Like, the Houston Rockets are in such a good position. And I think the draft and the first two games of Summer League with Jabari and Tari going off, I think people finally realized, like, oh, shoot, you know, it used to be Houston was like, all right, people like knew Jalen Green was a good player. They know Alperen Sengun's got some skill. They know Jabari was drafted nicely. You know, if you're a hardcore NBA fan, you know Tari Eason was a good draft pick, but like that's even kind of reaching a little bit. People knew the Rockets had a good core, but it was more of like, yeah, they're somewhere between probably like 3 and 5. And now it's pretty much unarguable to have them outside of the top 3. You know, I'd put Houston as top 2, 100%. It's just hard to really look at core players when you have guys like this draft class, Victor Wembanyama, Brandon Miller, Amen Thompson, who haven't played an NBA game. It's just kind of like might be a little bit jumping the gun there. But Houston, top 3 young core in the NBA, undisputed. You can't dispute it. We got Matt, my boy Matt here. I don't think Jalen's the franchise guy. Something interesting I was looking at. I'll actually just pull up the tweet here. I'm pretty sure I took a screenshot of it. Yeah. So on the best teams you can think of, this is from my boy, or he's not my boy, Dev. This is from In the Lab. I just love the brand. He doesn't know me. I worked for him, but he doesn't know me. Back in college. On the best teams you can think of, how many scorers do they have on the court normally? I'll give an example. Lakers had 2 scorers in Kobe and Shaq with role guys. Warriors had Steph, Clay, and Wiggins. To me, Jalen Green is I think Jalen Green is just a perfect 2 or 3. I really do. He's my scorer. You know, it's just as simple as that. He's the guy I know can get a bucket against anybody at any time. And 3 years from now, when we're going to be a finals contender, you know, Jalen Green is going to be the perfect piece to have. Whether he's a 2, whether he's a 3, it doesn't really matter. But as far as him being our franchise piece, I would probably need to see some crazy. And he's been improving as a playmaker, setting his teammates up as a passer, as a defender. We've seen crazy improvements, and he's extremely young too. But to me, I would put Jalen Green outside of like the four on the screen here, the four that we've been talking about, Amon, Jabari, Alpern, and Jalen, I'd probably put Jalen at number 3. For me, Amon Thompson is kind of similar to what Clip's saying here in the chat. Jabari has the high ceiling on our team. To me, Amon's the guy who has the high ceiling on our team, and Jabari's right there with him. We've only seen a game of Amon Thompson playing for the Houston Rockets, and I've been saying this is the best athlete in the draft class. This is a tall, lanky guard who can guard so many different players. He's great off ball. And once his shot gets to at least 32% from downtown, like keep in mind, like Luka Doncic is not a great career 3-point shooter. So I think sometimes like 3-point percentages can get, like, you're not going to leave Jalen Green wide open from downtown. You're not going to leave Luka Doncic wide open from downtown, even though Jabari wasn't efficient last season. Luka, 33.8 career 3-point shooter, just as a quick fact check. But, I'm in just freak-wise, two-way athlete, two-way ability. And you could 100% make the argument, like you're saying here, Clip, that Jabari has the high ceiling on our team, especially just because of the two-way ability that we really saw in the first 2 games of the Summer League. Hector Amon has the highest upside, I believe, him or Jabari. All right. It's always been Jabari for me. Imagine when he gets more muscle, he will be a Giannis with a 3-ball. My biggest fear, Eric, after watching the Summer League is that Jalen will continue to shoot 30 shots a night and not get Bari involved. No, I mean, I want Jalen taking a bunch of shots every night, and Fred's going to take a bunch of shots every night, and Dylan Brooks is going to take a bunch of shots every night. And, it does kind of seem like Jabari and Alpern both, could have diminished touches or shot attempts as opposed to like last year when we didn't really have an identity. It's a good fear. It's an understanding fear. But with Ime Udoka and Freddie, I don't really think it's going to happen. Jabari should be open a lot. Our players should be open a lot. Jabari, especially with his defense, these guys are going to be moving in transition. But keep in mind, he's going to be 20 next year. So I don't think Jabari breaks out in this upcoming season, into like, that 20 and 10 possible player that he showed at multiple times last season. I think Jabari's still a year or 2 away. Got to tighten up that dribble a little bit and just acclimate to the NBA. But, there's a lot of potential there with Jabari, and it's exactly why he was the projected number 1 pick last year. KPJ is low-key better than Jalen. Jalen is just most explosive on the team. This is going to be a big year for Kevin Porter Jr. here. Most likely a bench role coming his way, which is perfectly fine. He's still going to see 25-plus a night. He's still going to get you buckets. He's still going to play make. He's going to play on ball. He's going to play off ball with Amon Thompson. He's going to play with some of the starters. It's just going to be a good year, big year for Kevin Porter Jr. entering this stage in his NBA career. So, he knows what's on the line. He knows what's at stake. He's a very hard worker. And I can't get behind he's going to beat out Jalen Green for the starting 2 spot at all. But he's a good player, man. He's a really good player who's coming off a really good season. It's a really good sign having a debate between 4 young players as our franchise player, exactly as Matt's saying here. As long as it's Jalen, I don't care who the franchise player is. After looking at the West and all the rosters, the Rockets are really deep. Rank these cores: Edge, Houston, Detroit. It's difficult because I really am big on Detroit, but at the same time, Jalen Durant hasn't been unlocked yet. Cade Cunningham just missed almost his entire sophomore season. I'm not even really throwing James Wiseman in there. Jaden had a good year. He had a better second half than he did first half. A lot to be excited about there. I think Azar, I don't even know if he's going to be a starter on the Pistons next season. I don't think he's going to have a crazy rookie year just because I think it's going to be limited. So I can't put Detroit there potential-wise. Detroit is very good. Orlando, Franz Wagner's a bucket. Paolo had a really underappreciated rookie season. I think probably because people just realized after 1 month it was like, oh, Paolo Banchero's the rookie of the year. I'm gonna go with Houston. I'm gonna go with Houston. I'm probably gonna go. Houston Magic, Pistons. Thunder have great core, 100%. They have a lot of young talent, and they're probably number one. Shea's already a stud. Giddey's becoming a stud. Chet looks good. But once again, like with all these young cores, there are guys we haven't seen step out on the court in an NBA live game, like Chet Holmgren. So, what do you think? When do you think the gap between Cade and Jalen will be made? Seems like it's always been a debate. That's a good question. I think Cade is a better player than Jalen Green. I think he'll have a better career than Jalen Green. I think Cade Cunningham could be a potential Hall of Famer. And I know after his sophomore year, honestly, just his NBA career, I love this hat so much. Honestly, just his NBA career in general doesn't really seem as such. Probably 2 years from now, we'll probably see these guys step into themselves a little bit more this year. And, probably after their rookie contract's up in 2 years, that next year. So 2 to 3 years is what I'm going to go with. Cade and Jalen's still very, very young. I don't want to jump to anything prematurely. Jabari Smith Jr., 20 and 10, put it in pen. What would this team look like if we ended up drafting Paolo Banchero? They'd probably be considered as more of a threat in the West, just because Paolo was 20 and 7 last year with some assists. Paolo's a great player. You guys know I love my Duke alums. We probably would have maybe won a couple more games last season, like probably 1 to 3. So not much of a difference there, but I think for probably Rockets hype, which is already big. What's up, Jorge? For like Rockets hype, which is already big, he would probably only add to it. Like I said, the Jabari hype outside of like right before the summer league games. There's hype there that, we see the potential, but we didn't really see it at a consistent rate like the 2 summer league games that he played for a long enough period last year. So, maybe a little bit better hype, but, Jabari's picking up the hype right now. So it starts to kind of even it out a little bit. Not this season, but next season, Jalen will take a for sure lead on Cade. Damn, nice. All right, so year 4. We got Chris. What's up? We got Houston's number 1. That's all that matters. Amin's better than Paolo. Jabari gives me team leader vibes. Jalen does too. A lot of young, like these are humble guys, but they have this chip on their shoulder. Like Jabari the Wiseman, Jalen Green's 3rd NBA game against Cade Cunningham. These guys got some chips on their shoulder. That's 100%. All right, Eric says, look, I'm high on Amin, but we got to chill. It's very raw. Needs time to develop. 100%. And if Rafael Stone and Ime Udoka were here right now, they'd want to shake your hand, because that's exactly why they went out there and signed Freddie Double V, Rockford's finest, to be the point guard of the future, or for the near future. Yeah, man, Amin's really good. But yeah, he's very raw. He's going to make mistakes, but he's also going to work his ass off. And I know it's going to be a bench role, but I would not be surprised if by the end of the season, Amin Thompson is rapidly ascending. So Yeah, Amon Thompson, another very, very young player. Unfortunately, not going to be the starter for next season. Actually, assume. Wanted to see Amon Thompson's birthday. He turned 20 on January 30th. Another 2003 guy. Just crazy. Where's he? Born in California. Went to high school in Florida. Nice. Fort Lauderdale on the other side. Hit the like button, everybody, guys. We got 23 people in here. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We're trying to really pump out these. When I say we, by the way, I mean me. We're trying to really get these podcast episodes going. We're up to 56 total plays, which sounds like nothing, but fuck, we'll take it. We've had a play on every episode since April 29th. Holy cow, that's like 2 months away. Yeah, it was 2 months ago. So yeah, check those out down below. If you could redraft Jalen's draft class, what would it look like? Top 5 picks. Oh man. We're going to need to pull up a chart just because I know guys like Franz are going to be lurking. And guys like Cade, and injured. All right, we'll pull this up. Alrighty. Let me know what you guys are thinking down below as well. Number 1, I'm going to go Evan Mobley. I'm going to draft Evan Mobley at number 1. It's just so difficult. There's so much talent. Look at this draft class. Man, Josh Primo, come on. Wonder what he's up to. James Bouknight. Who's deeper in this class? Şengün. Josh Christopher, Usman Garuba. Legends, Rocket Legends, JT Thor. All right, there's no sneaky late pick. That would like there's no Jokic of the class as of now. All right. I'm going to go Mobley 1. I'm still going Cade 2. A long point guard who can shoot from downtown. I'm going to take Cade at 2. Rocket fans aren't going to like that. You guys aren't going to like that. 3, I'm going to go with – it's between Giddey and Franz Wagner. I'm going to go with Giddey at 3. I'm going to go with Wagner at 4, Scotty Barnes at 5. And then I would select Jalen Green at pick number 6 to the Oklahoma City Thunder to pair him up with Shea. That's off the dome. Cade cannot shoot the threes. His NBA threes have not been falling. Yeah, Cade at 2 as of now is going to be a huge reach. 40% at Oklahoma State, but oh my god, 28% in the 12 games he played this year. He went 26-6 though, man. I mean, he's a really good player. Yeah. Cam Thomas at 5. There you go. Can be having some really bad James Harden turnovers. I've haven't heard that before. Easy. I like it. I like the comparison. That is funny. Big Al would go top 10 in a redraft. Yeah. He'd be hovering around 10 if he wasn't for some reason picked there. Jalen at 6 is wild. Yeah, I had a feeling. I mean, it is wild. It really is. I think most people would say this then. I think most people would go Evan Mobley 1. Fuck, man. Where would you guys select Jalen Green here? Because 2, you could go any player on the board. Literally any player. You could go Cade Cunningham. You could go Jalen Green. You could go Scotty Barnes. You could go Josh Giddey. You could go Franz Wagner at pick number 2. So if that's 6 players, damn, I could see Alpi going between 7 and 10. I don't know why Kuminga would be picked over him. Jalen Suggs, Davion Mitchell, Zaire Williams, Book Knight, Primo, Duarte, none of those guys I think would be picked over LP. So he could go 7. Do Jabari's class. Jalen 3, Mobley, Cade, Jalen. I can understand Cade and Mobley over Green, but that's it. Yeah, I mean, I guess Scotty didn't have as crazy of a sophomore year, so could see Scotty Barnes. The thing with Wagner and Giddy is they're really good players. They're just really good players. So maybe Jalen still goes top 4. Maybe he would be top 4, or he would be 4 if someone wants to go Giddy in front of him, or Wagner in front of him, or Cade in front of him. It's tough, man. Yeah, so maybe I would swap Jalen and Scotty Barnes. Scotty just didn't have a crazy year last year, so let me go Mobley Mob. I'm still going Cade at 2, man. I don't care. I'm gonna go Giddy 3, Green 4, and then Wagner 5. That's Scotty at 6, I suppose. All right, let's do the 2022 NBA draft. We'll take Paulo at 1. All right. Yeah, this class was there's some guys at the back in the first round that you could take, like J-Dub. All right, I guess it's not too bad though. So I'm gonna go Paulo Chet. And then you got Jabari, Keegan, Jaden Ivey, Benny, Shea. J-Dub's going to be up there. I'd probably still go Jabari at 3. I like Jabari's potential a lot better than Keegan Murray. And probably J-Dub at 4. That probably is an early pick at J-Dub at 4. But I'd keep Jabari at 3. I know we haven't seen Chet play. So maybe if you asked like a month ago, I would go Jabari at 2. Probably not, though. Probably not. All right, Charlie says, I believe Jalen is the clear number 1 and potentially best in his class, but he's had really poor situation along with bad coaching and no playmaking point guard. If this was Jalen's point guard, he'd be average. Tari Eason to 5. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. That's crazy. That won't be crazy in a couple of years, but for right now, that's crazy. If Tyus was Jalen's point guard, you're saying an efficient 22. I got you. I think Jalen's 1, but I can see Cade still over him. We got Jalen's not 1. So, yeah, man, that's tonight's loose debate. It's 9 o'clock. I got bacon chicken. All right, guys. That's it for tonight. Pretty late stream here today. I didn't set an alarm last night. Got into it a little bit last night. Didn't set an alarm. And I woke up at 11 a.m. It's just really late. So, yeah, apologies. Late night stream's fun. But, yeah, that's it for today. So, hit the like button, hit the sub button. As always, Let's Talk Rockets is available on streaming platforms, Spotify and Apple Podcasts down below, or type in Let's Talk Rockets. You guys can follow my Twitter, links down in the bio, or follow Let's Talk Rockets on Twitter. And, yeah, before we dip on out of here, let's check what time we are live tomorrow. 7 o'clock, ESPN. All right, awesome. So maybe a 2-stream day tomorrow. All right. I have a 2-stream day. Wow. Good thing I bought coffee. Gotta stop by. This is my first time. Nice, dude. Awesome. Welcome, Eric. Appreciate you stopping by. That's awesome. Yeah, dude. We do these Let's Talk Rockets every single day, pretty much, probably like 5 times a week. Weekends can be a little bit. This can be a tough weekend, but I got you guys. I got you guys. They're just going to be in the day. So hit the like button, hit the sub button. That's it for me. Enjoy your nights.